I'll be the first to say it. Coronavirus? Pretty cringe. But as we all know, nothing's impossible for mankind to overcome. So after my daily attempt to unlock Waluigi in Super Mario 64 DS,
It's fucking Yoshi again!
I looked up some COVID cures on Facebook, and you're not gonna believe this one, even though it's true. COVID cures definitely exist. Yeah, it appears all you have to do is talk about community-made pornography located within a DS game that's over a decade old.
Wario time.
The internet has had a huge impact on gaming, not only in a multiplayer aspect, which, yes, that helped, thank you Dreamcast. No, you can go home now, it's fine. But I'd argue an even bigger impact was the growth of communities centered around games. What's the biggest issue with gaming communities? Yep, you got it. I mean, everyone already knows in competitive games or experts, there exists no actual humans. Forget the government, we have located the cloud people. You know, on the bright side, at least a mere child wanting to play Mario can look up pictures of their favorite power-up. It's just a fact of life. When you give millions a tool to express themselves, at least one of them statistically wears an Ahegao sweater when dad isn't around. Hey there, son, the bread's done. Holy what are you
shit,
wearing?
Dad,
Your mother
for the
taught you
last
better.
time.
This is a prime
It's
example
ironic.
of why. So yes, people are actually the worst, but what does this have to do with the DS?
Check this out.
Yeah, you can seriously just draw titties on this thing. The hell were they thinking? Of the entire library, I think the game robbed of the most potential was WarioWare D.I.Y. Sure, it's fine for what it is, but the surviving scraps of a community tells us what it could have been. It's kind of like if Nintendo made Mario Maker, except Course World just doesn't exist, forget about that. And also, you can't run because I don't know who gives a shit. Why am I so passionate about WarioWare? I don't know. I mean, WarioWare is the most enjoyable minigame collection I ever played, and this theoretical version of DIY in which you could have an endless amount of games thanks to the internet seems too good to be true. Well, guess what? It is, and I don't think we'll ever see this concept ever again. I mean, not only would WarioWare have to be alive as a series, but they'd have to relinquish more creative tools to the audience, something they're hesitant in doing now. But what was WarioWare D.I.Y. like in 2010, which, as we all know, was before porn was invented? Okay, for you plot fanatics, listen up. WarioWare, the company, has lost every single employee due to Wario not paying them multiple times. Yep, that'll do it. Leaving Wario to pick up the absolute lowest of the lows to make the games instead. That's right. Now, saying the gameplay is kind of limited is accurate. The biggest issue here is the only input possible is just tapping the touchscreen. No buttons, you can't drag anything on the screen, you can only tap. However, if you play do it yourself for the pre-built content, you probably also play Sims for the story. The creation process is very intuitive, with a good tutorial that could even teach me as a 12-year-old to make this monstrosity, oh god. Now my original save and cartridge were long gone. Kobe! But I still had my Wii, which was how I was able to preserve this bad. Yeah, WiiWare had kind of a half port that didn't have any of the creation tools, but you still could play games on it if you were an insane person. The only real use for this was to showcase your game on the big screen. But me, I apparently have a degree in making useless crap that nobody cares about, so here's DIY on the Wii U. Yeah, we'll get to that one later. Okay, I get it. All these games look horrible, but they don't come close to the limits of the engine, and to prove that, I'm gonna make a better game in however many minutes. Bada bing, bada boom, after 25 minutes in development, hopefully it is worth the wait. However, when I try to ship out the microgame and save it, it just chooses not to exist anymore, which is a decision I can respect. So I would guess the only way to play custom games on the Wii U would be to do something crazy like make a ROM hack and then inject it into the virtual console, which I am an insane person. But Joey, where are you gonna get the... Come on. Micro games? I've been working on this for 6 months. Please just leave me alone. Well, Sharks, welcome to my new company, Dojinsoft. Our modus operandi can be summed up in 2 mission statements. Number 1, preserve WarioWare D.I.Y content old and new. Number 2, jack off. Your pitch is weak and your dick is small. For the first goal, yeah, they're knocking it out of the park, effectively archiving every officially distributed game there was. Around the time of D.I.Y's release, Nintendo held contests to distribute your games to thousands of people, as well as tasking indie devs to not only make games for WiiWare, but WarioWare. When will it end? So to simulate the 2010 experience a little bit, I got some of their games, but there was something missing. Most people that had this game had friends with friend codes to share with. But luckily, users on Dojinsoft can upload their own games to the site. So then I got carried away and downloaded a lot of other micro games. And despite not everyone obviously having game design degrees, there's some real gems in here. So looking at all of this, wouldn't it have been great if there was a widely used online service? No! WarioWare, in theory, is the perfect game for this sort of thing, but it's also impossible to moderate, considering it's Nintendo. Think about it, even if these guys are able to stop every hentai enthusiast submission in the world, which they're capable of, but they won't, are you expecting them to get a mod team for fucking WarioWare? No, for them that's probably morally flawed. That's against their principles. And for them, the content only lasts 5 seconds, but if a single 5-year-old sees a boob, a kid was traumatized, we're shutting it down! So knowing that these games take no time at all to pump out and are designed as such that you blast through dozens in just minutes, this game never had a widespread real chance. But wait a second, didn't Nintendo release Flipnote Studio a year prior? Yeah, Flipnote Studio, you know, the animation tool where you can share drawings online.
Rollins looking for the elimination.
Well, yes, but Nintendo got another company to moderate it, and they also elected to slap their name on it, so couldn't be Nintendo. That's something else. Nintendo themselves has said something to the effect of they wouldn't do it themselves because they don't have the resources for it. You gotta take it from me. We simply don't have the... Oh, sorry. Coughed up a few thousand yen. Yeah, we don't have the resources. Flipnote Studio basically met its end in 2013, going to the 3DS with a brand new infrastructure, with private messages being quickly disabled due to the concerns of a potential penis problem. It also transitioned to a weird public system that, from what I understand, meant that if nobody liked your post, well, you just couldn't post anymore, easy as that. This service never made it out of Japan and officially ended for real in 2018. Also, I wish I could spend at least a minute in these guys' shoes just to understand what the hell. Okay, obviously I can't show most of these games because YouTube, but just imagine an anime woman in all of her 16-color glory, then suddenly, oh, her breasts twitch. They make a fucking WarioWare sound effect. Yet, much like real life, you gotta just ignore the porn. If you do, you'll find a community that's really interesting to revisit and provides a truly unique experience we'll never have again. It was released at a perfect time to be preserved, with the Wii and DS hacking scene dwarfing any others that came before or after. And what do you know, there's still new games being released this year in 2020, so it's safe to say that this was almost certainly a mistake.